the families that are present with our clients, we have to keep in mind that they were there before we were there, and this is their family support, and that's totally fine. But if there's happens to be an issue where they may feel as if they want to question maybe something that's going on from the nurses or the doctors, or just in general what's going on with their loved one, which would be my client, then I have to give them that respect and answer these questions and concerns that they may have. Because if I'm not respecting them, then I'm not respecting my client, because they come as a package. Even though my client is held on a higher pedestal than their family, but they're still right there and they still correlate with each other because that's their family. So they deserve the same love and respect as I'm giving my mommy, and they also need to see that I love, care, and respect my client, so that way they'll feel confident and comfortable with me being in that room with my client, or just in general as I'm with my client on the day-to-day basis, or at their doctor's appointment, and so forth and so on. So how can you make them feel respected and heard? So a lot of times I deal with families that do have questions, and that's totally fine. If the doctors or nurses are in that room and the family has a question or concern, they are allowed to ask the nurses and the doctors without me stepping in. That's completely separate from my job. So I move out the way so that way they will be heard and respected, because they have concerns as much as anybody else would have concerns if they don't understand the process of what's going on. How can you respond with respect without discrimination if I'm not a good fit? And that's totally fine. There's somebody for everybody, whether any kind of relationship. And in a relationship, as far as a doula and a client, if there's not a good fit, then I don't mind recommending or referring them to somebody else with more resources, because the goal is to not capture all the expecting mothers on the planet. The goal is to make sure these mommies have the support that they need and that they're comfortable with the person that they choose to be their doula. And if they have a connection with somebody else, or they feel like they would have a better connection with somebody else, then by all means, they deserve to pick and choose, because their well-being is what's in my best interest.